In one word, I would describe Mr. Mitchell as determined. Arthur Mitchell was a visionary who proved to the world that people of color could succeed in the ballet art form. He broke through racial barriers to allow so many talented people to be a part of the Dance Theatre of Harlem and flourish in their own right. He gave us the opportunity to achieve our goals through his leadership and nurturing with dignity.
One word to describe Arthur Mitchell. I think that word would have to be tenacity. Telling Arthur Mitchell that he couldn't or shouldn't do something merely fueled him to prove you wrong. For starters, he personally disproved the myth that black bodies were unsuited to do classical ballet. First by joining New York City Ballet and then excelling and becoming a principal dancer. They said, Arthur Mitchell, you're the exception to the rule. So he decided to start a ballet company, predominantly black ballet company based in Harlem. This company, through his determination, demand for excellence, and yes, tenacity, became a world-renowned ballet company, able to compete with the best of the world.
What did I expect from working with Mr. Mitchell? Well, to be honest, I didn't know what to expect. Coming from a very white Royal Ballet School, being the first black student to have been accepted there, I was always the odd man out. So comparatively, the thought of joining another the first all-black classical ballet company was, OMG, I can't wait. Bring it on. What do I remember about Mr. Mitchell in the studio? His formidable presence. As soon as Mr. Mitchell walked into the studio, all chatter stopped. And if he had his cane with him, look out.
I guess I expected Mr. Mitchell to be just as he was. He was very demanding. We worked really hard, but we wanted to work hard. We wanted to please him. We wanted to make him proud. And when he gave you a compliment, you felt really good. But on the other side, you didn't want to get on his bad side. None of us wanted to do that because you didn't want to go through that tongue lashing that he would give you. So no disrespect. We never disrespected him or anything like that. And when I was working with him, I always felt privileged and special. And it was like we were the most important people in his life. And his voice would just fill up the air. And also when he laughed, he had a very robust laugh, and it would just permeate the space. He taught us how to really perform, like how you place your hand, how you place your feet, or how you do movements to make them more special. He taught us nuances that would embellish the movement to give it more meaning. So we weren't just doing steps, but we were giving meaning. We were giving a life to the movements.
What I remember about Dancing Tones is when I first joined the company as apprentice, that was the ballet that we would all, especially men, learn your partnering chops, because they had very intricate lifts and very difficult and abstract ways of doing certain lifts, where the lady might be horizontal in a plank position, where she might be wrapped around your neck, very influenced by Balanchine, and probably some of the stuff would remind you of Agon Pas de Deux, something that Mr. Mitchell was famous for.
I would describe Tones as a neoclassic ballet with athletic linear movement and precision partnering. The coupling of Mr. Mitchell's vision and Tanya Leon's 12-tone score with our DTH style and execution made Tones unique.
Our male partners were supporting us, and first of all, you did the Susan, then you did that passe, and he wanted it crisp, and you had to bring that toe up to the knee. Then that leg within a second, bam, and he wanted you to bam it. He wanted that leg hyperextended, that foot totally pointed. Then he brought it back to passe, and then we did this promenade on the oar, and you ended up in fourth position, lunging on point.
I expected it to be hard. You know, even before he got there, I just was like, okay, prepping my brain, prepping my body for my limits being pushed. And lo and behold, as soon as he walked through that Studio 3 door, it was just, he was demanding of greatness.
The expectations that I had for him coming in was a lot different than what actually happened. I expected us to work on big picture concepts. I expected us to kind of work on the grand scheme of things, and we ended up really working on small little corrections, these small little details that really made the big difference.
When he walked into the room, I could feel that very strong energy from him, and everyone pulled up. Because he's a legend, even Korean newspaper posted article about him when he passed away. And I actually never felt that intense energy in the room since I joined the Dance Theatre of Harlem. So we were doing tons of rehearsal. After first movement, walking section, he stopped the music and said, "Hey, show me your walks again." I didn't feel bad at all because I could feel that he just wanted to fix my dancing as a dancer. And I was really surprised that he complimented me on my presence.
Dancing tones is another story. It's very challenging. It requires a lot of stamina and it requires a lot of focus. It's focused not only on yourself and your partner, but also on the 5 other couples on stage that you have to partner with. And a lot of the steps we all do together.
Dancing tones was difficult, to say the least. I believe that after we completed tones, all of us felt like we could conquer the world, especially after doing that third section with all the detailed footwork at the end and the quick feet. Yeah, the entire ballet in itself is definitely a beast.
All through history, certain people have been chosen to do extraordinary things, and Mr. Mitchell is among the chosen.
I'm honored to have worked with him. I appreciate that he created the Dance Theatre of Harlem so I can be here today.
Dance is for everyone.
But I also feel that his legacy is left on every stage that we perform in, and it's left in the hearts and minds of any one of the audience members that see us, because his dream was this.
Something that I will carry with me and continue to share with the world is a quote that Mr. Mitchell used to say, or has said, about walking into a room and knowing that you're somebody and that you're somebody special. And don't let anyone smash that or pull you down or take that away from you.
Arthur Mitchell was certainly the most profound influence on the man, the artist, and the teacher that I've become. The high standards he demanded for us as company members served us well and instilled in us a work ethic that was rooted in always striving for excellence, never settling for mediocrity. You represent something larger than yourself, is something he always said. And it's something I try to live to this day and pass on to my students. Thank you, Arthur Mitchell.